Hello, you all. It is Tease. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. So, literally, as I'm literally getting epiphanies and I'm literally seeing things brewing and I'm seeing a lot of really, it's really disturbing, but it's like for me, I appreciate the heads up. It's kind of like I guess it would be the quiet before the storm, but during the quiet before the storm, I'm seeing traps being set up. I'm seeing the decline of compassion for humanity, which I'll get into. Like I'm literally seeing destruction brewing, if not already spilled over. And then I feel like what makes it more scary, because I feel like I'm living in a scary movie, but what makes it more scary is that either A, no one noticed, no one cares, or they are unfazed. And I'm thinking that's literally the scariest part. So what I've noticed literally, and I don't want to just blame this on LA, even though I've seen a lot in LA, even though there's so much more to see. And I feel like I've never seen so much crazy. I've never seen so much this or that until I get to LA. And me, I'm call myself not necessarily seeing everything, but traveling around to see a little bit more. And I'm feeling like once I got to LA, like literally upon my first time coming to LA, I don't know if it was around 2016, like maybe when I first come, I'm visiting, but literally every time I come, I'm mind blown, either with the beauty or with the sorcery. And it's just like, whoa. So I want to say sometime this week, okay, so basically a day or two ago, I am in this government building, mind you, a government residential building, mind you. So this is a residential building for the quote unquote, we'll say for the quote unquote handicap. A government building. So basically, long story short, this government building, it's basically it's unfit. Now, mind you, it's supposed to be a brand new building, mind you, but it's unfit. I don't even think roaches live here. But basically, in this building, it's like impossible. Actually, it is impossible to come in because like the security doors doesn't work. So basically, all of the security doors are open to the public, including the garage door. So pretty much all entrances can be entrance. It can be entered because there's lack of security, lack of proper care. Basically, long story short, I believe this building is a sabotage. It's a sabotaged building. So it'd be like, oh, this is a new building for the quote unquote handicap or for the quote unquote needy. And it is something about needing the government for something. You just know that if you need the government for anything, it will be bare minimum, and it will not be free. Even if they told us totally free, this free food and this housing is totally free for you, and it's like you better believe you're gonna be paying one way or the other. And if you don't pay with cash, you better believe you're gonna be paying with your sanity. So basically, long story short, with this, there's a building full of quote unquote handicapped people, but and here's the kicker too. There is no first floor. So the first floor is like, okay, you just come into the building and then you take the elevator to wherever you're going. So basically, if you have a raggedy ass building full of handicapped people, and I don't mean just flat out handicapped, you got on a helmet. Handicapped because you're in a wheelchair, because you're elderly, or basically severely handicapped, or you need severe care. This building there's no elevators basically. So you get two elevators. Mind you, everything that's here, it's raggedy. This is a brand new building, but everything is raggedy. Meaning, within a matter of time, or within a month, or within a second, the elevator's gonna break. And like clockwork, you have one elevator that's broken, that needs repair, and then the second one that's broken because maybe one of the residents tore it up. Because like I said, this is a raggedy ass building. And they don't really care, because if you call yourself handicapped or needy, this is the definition of help for people in the needing, or when it comes to government. So basically, long story short, you have people in wheelchairs, or people who cannot walk on their own or cannot run out the door without assistance, and they're stuck on the second floor on up to the top floor with no elevator. And you'll think, hey, damn, that would be scary if you're in a wheelchair, or let's say like if you even broke your ankle and you can't take the stairs, or your legs are perfectly fine, but you're not by the stairs. You're on the side that's by the elevator, and guess what? There's a fire. This particular time, luckily there wasn't a fire, but just the fact that they were stuck on those floors was really crazy. You'll think like, damn, that'd be really scary. Like if you imagine yourself in a wheelchair and you need to get out of here just because, okay, you have an appointment or because there's fire, whatever the case may be, and you're stuck on the second plus floor, and it's like, what the hell's going on here? And then you're in a raggedy ass building where the elevators don't work. Like there's so much wrong with that picture. Because I can go on, and you can tell this is how you know the humanity, the compassion for humanity flown out the window a long time ago. Right now it's just getting worse. The compassion for humanity has stopped a long time ago. I don't know, nor have I noticed when it happened in the first place, but I know for sure I can see it more, especially in LA. Because I don't want to say only, let me watch what I say. But for me, only in LA, even though this is not true for everywhere, when you see an elderly person getting thrown out, them and their stuff thrown out head first. Only in LA where you see women and children on the, it's like the stuff that I see in LA is beautiful, but it's like your mind will be so blown. It's like, wow, is everybody this hateful? That's why I don't trust anybody. Oh, you need help? To me, I get so nervous when people ask, or if they feel like you need help, you will be exploited so bad. Like literally the people who I've seen handicapped people, elderly people getting their money taken. They'll take your money and will still throw you out head first because they are the recipients of getting your money. If you call anything through assistance, but it's just so inhumane to where I'm like, wow, we are dealing with some true demons. I don't even want to call it dirty or ruthless. These are like stone cold demons here. But basically, if you think about it, in this particular building that I'm talking about, if you ask me, no handicapped people, with you handicapped in any way, shape, or form, from retarded on down to paraplegic, you have no business in buildings like this. Like I say, in a raggedy ass building with no care, no assistance, and to where somebody's bound to burn the place down. And then you have handicapped people on the second floor plus. Here's the thing, what makes this place a hazard? If I'm in a wheelchair, I should be on the first floor. Even if I'm in a building that the elevators work like magic, to where they need no repair, they fix themselves. If you're in a wheelchair, you have no business above the first floor, because in a time of emergency or in a time that you want to just hurry up and leave, who's to say you got time to wait on the elevator? If I'm in a wheelchair, I need to be able to blow out the door, whether I need the elevator or not, or whether there's an emergency or not. I'm in a wheelchair, so I should be able to wheel myself out the door. Not in this building. You have to first of all, you have to find an elevator that works. You got to get there, then you got to wait for the elevator. These people will basically, you'll be destroyed, which I'm thinking it is a setup. If you look at the way the building is set up and the way that things are not working, to me, I just feel like it's a sabotaged building. Either sabotaged because it's sabotaged by design, or sabotaged because they don't care about the structure of it. I'm just gonna slap it together. This is just for people who don't have money anyway, so whatever it is, it's some type of sick something. And we literally, we patronize people like this. The people who literally will watch you starve or watch you drown or watch you burn, we pay them our money. Because Goodwill is no different. You think you can go to Goodwill for a blanket or some shoes or some clothes, as far as a quote-unquote donation, and they will look at you like you're crazy. And more than once have they said, we are not that type of help. And then Lord knows, if I had millions and billions in my pocket, let alone a few dollars, Lord knows I would not be okay with telling somebody, oh, this ain't that type of help. Now, I'll tell you if you don't want to do better for yourself, because that's what I'm doing now. Now, if you don't want to do nothing, if you're okay with squalor, then you choose your side. You okay with living with your own doo-doo and living in filth, then that's your choice. And obviously there's, I can't really help anybody to not live in filth. Like, if you're comfortable living your own doo-doo and urine, then it is what it is. But if you literally know that there's something not right here and you want to learn and grow, I have no problem helping people out of that bubble. But literally these nasty agencies that we participate in and that we join because you feel like you need refuge or help, I get so nervous because I feel like this is definitely temporary. And for me, it's always temporary. I don't care if I say, oh, I need help, I need a ride somewhere. Even with public transit, like, I don't turn my nose at public transit, but it's going to become a time where I'm not taking public transit because everything's becoming terrorized. Can't trust the train system. You don't know who's coming on and off of the buses, and then you can't trust your Lyft driver. It just everything is getting to the point where like everybody's getting possessed. It's like something's coming over, and it's like I'm noticing them like, oh my goodness. But for me though, I guess it would make sense to leave the big city, but then again, there's nowhere for me to run. Like even that's the home of the zombies. So I'm thinking I left the zombies and come to more entertaining zombies, if you will. Like, okay, these are the zombies of the sunlight, and so I'm just thinking like you go from a dark, gloomy place to where it's like, okay, the sun hardly shines and you can literally see the life sucked out of the city, and then you go somewhere where it seems more flashy, but the people are just as brain dead, and the only difference is there's a whole lot more of them. And I'm thinking like, wow. So that's why I figure for me, there's nowhere to run. I can leave to a smaller city, but the treachery and what I see, I'm still going to see what I'm seeing. And literally about the whole building thing, like, okay, so both of the elevators are raggedy and tore up. But the crazy thing is, I think what part that was scarier to me, because like, mind you, I'm on. I mean, you have to go. So basically, the first floor is where the elevator is, and you just take the elevators up. So I'm up, and I'm on the floor of the lady that's in the wheelchair, and she just sitting. I'm thinking like, why is this lady just sitting here? Because at the time I took the elevator up, so I don't know if and that's another. It breaks at certain times. So basically, I take the elevator up, and I see a lady in the hallway, and I'm thinking, why is this lady sitting in the hallway? And I'm like sitting in an awkward place, and I look around the elevator, and then she's just sitting there. The people that are sitting there in the elevators, they're calm. It's like they didn't say anything. They didn't call the fire. They're not raising it. Because I know I would have, even if it's not an emergency. I don't like to feel trapped, and I'm in a wheelchair and I'm stuck on whatever floor. I'm going to raise hell. Like I'm freaking out. Like, first of all, what the hell is this? Because I would always feel like there should be an alternative. Don't have me on the 12th floor if you know I'm in a wheelchair and there's no alternative when the elevator blows. And let's say like the elevator's perfectly fine. In a fire, you're not supposed to take the damn elevator. Why are there people on wheelchair? And I'm just like, and nobody said, this is the stuff. I'm just like, wow. This is how you know humanity, the compassion for humanity flown out the window a long time ago. This is like one of those things. You just better be glad I'm giving you a place to stay. And so therefore I'll just throw you anywhere and you have at it. And the part that's even more crazy is with the like the treatment of the elders. That's how you know. This is another thing too. Like, I've never seen, like, this is how you know that the compassion for humanity has flown out the window. When now you have elders that are, without housing, and they're literally left for dead. But then it's not that they don't have the funds. It's just like they just don't have like the proper facility for them to go. Like, okay, somewhere for them to go to where they can be watched over and taken care of. But then they end up in one of these like halfway houses, basically, here in LA. And not only are you being milked of your money, you're being mistreated, and you're being not taken care of. And it's just like, I'm just like, wow. And it's not just one person or one group or one agency doing it. Almost everybody's in on it. Even people on the streets. Like, if you call yourself needing help, like literally you get a flat tire or something, you can't even trust the help. You can't trust that someone would genuinely help you because you have a flat tire, or genuinely help you because you hit hard times, or genuinely help you because you need a place to stay or something. Like, these people, they would take advantage of you, and it's really sad. And I feel like whatever's going on in the world needs to be nipped in the bud immediately, to the point where nipped in the bud so fast to where the Satan or this evil section, whatever it is, setting up shop, don't have time to sit down. Like, literally, we need to make it so uncomfortable for these, like, your Goodwills and places that are getting rich while you're eating out the garbage can, and stuff like that. And we're participating. Like, you got people. I was just listening to a gentleman. He was saying that there's people like that's close to him that he see that's on the side of the road. He said, but they're not on the side of the road asking for money. He said that they're willing to work for job money, so just so they can eat. Like, pretty much like, I'm on the side of the road, I'm willing to work, I'm willing to do whatever for money. And I'm thinking like, what do you need money for? If you're on the side of the road, like, and if you just need it for food, and it's like, what are we doing in this system to where we know the system is killing us and eating us alive and sucking us dry, but yet we're still fighting, and we're still struggling and dying to feed the system. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't know if we feel trapped. Like, we have to have this. I promise you. I can promise you. Like, I will flip so fast the second they say, hey, okay, it's impossible to live comfortably, or it's impossible to eat. I'm going to find the alternative. I'm going to stop eating, and I'm going to stop living in that department, and go somewhere where it's a little bit easier. Even if it's harder as far as me mentally. Oh, well, I need to learn how to live on the side of the road. This is probably something that we should have learned anyway. And I'm thinking the problem is here, the problem with living on the side of the road is it's been abused. It's like with the tents, there's too many damn tents everywhere, too much doo-doo everywhere. It's just, and it's in the wrong spot. It's like people don't camp anymore. It's like they'll terrorize the park. They'll terrorize anywhere to where they feel like it's comfortable enough for them to set up a tent. And that's the problem, because people are too reckless. They think it's just them there. It's just me on the side of the road, so you're gonna see my doo-doo, and it's just like, oh my goodness. Oh, the recklessness, and I'm just like, I am not pleased with what I see. And it's actually, it is very disturbing. And I think, and the part that's more scary is that the people are unfazed. They don't even realize, like, you're literally killing yourself to pay $20 for an apple just to kill yourself again, to do it again tomorrow. And I'm just like, you don't want the alternative? You don't want to stop and figure out what the hell's going on? You don't want to starve the machine out? Like, people are literally dying and struggling to feed the machine that's sucking them dry and basically killing them. You're dying trying to keep up with this rent, or trying to keep your house, trying to keep the car. And you're paying more for what? The same old raggedy stuff that you, and it's like I say, people are not paying top dollar to live on the hill, or to live good, or to live next to this. No, this is not luxury living. I promise you, when you see people living on the side of the road, yeah, you might be paying more, but that's not, I can promise you it's not luxury. I promise you that. Doo-doo and I'm just like, come on now, the air quality. Here's the thing too. To me, now, California, it's literally, for me, it's the gift and the curse. Like, the gift, because I'm like, I get all of my therapy here, like literally the beautiful scenery, the beautiful weather. I get the sunlight that I felt like I never had. And then I'm able to literally, I can clear my mind too, but then my mind will immediately be back heavy as to what I see. And then again, I have to learn to, like, okay, you can't harbor what you see. You might see some treachery, or might see some sorcery, but you can't harbor it. Because this is just to bring awareness. Like, you're going to see this, you're going to get the heads up, you're going to get the update for awareness. And that's not to make you panic. And that's another thing too, this is why I appreciate the therapeutic part of California. Okay, I can release. I've literally just seen a plethora of sorcery. Now I can release. Okay, there's sorcery over there. I can let it go and know that I can learn what is what and who is. But I'm just like, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, to me, the part that I am having trouble letting go is how people are just content. Like, when I say on a regular day, these people will be rowdy, crazy, trying to burn the place down on a regular day. Nothing's going on. Maybe it's just a Wednesday, whatever it is. Nothing's going on, nothing. And it's like these people are rowdy on a regular day. But then on a time where you should be panicking and raising hell, where it's like, hey, something's abnormal. Everybody was just calm. Nobody flipped the table. Nobody pulled the fire alarm. And I'm just like, what the F is going on here? And I'm just like, whoa. Like I said, any other time, fire alarm will be going off. People will be attempted to burn the building down. And I'm just like, when I seen that lady just as calm as day and kind, and she's stuck. You're stuck on a level of this building, and she's unfazed. She didn't seem to be at panic. Maybe she was waiting patiently for it to be fixed, but whatever it was, I'm just like, the fact that I think people are too damn content. Too content with the sorcery, with the strange activity, and I'm thinking too, they can see too that, hey, something doesn't seem right here. Like, this seems like a setup. If I'm supposed to be in a quote unquote new building, and I'm sure they know, and I'm sure the building know, you have no business on any floor above the first floor, especially in a raggedy ass building that's raggedy by design. And I'm thinking, that is that a sabotage building, and they just put people in there just to sabotage, lock them in and sabotage them, or to smoke them out? I'm just like, what is going on? And I'm just like, wow. And I'm noticing stuff, and then it's the comfort. Yeah, so the compassion for humanity. And my thing is too, if these people don't show you, if they're not, I don't care if you're at a damn, I don't care where you at. If they're not kissing your butt as a customer, especially with inflation through the roof, you don't do business with them. Like, I'm literally at the point now where, like, even me, I mentioned with the relationship with Amazon, like, I love the convenience. I love that I can feel like I can get whatever from there. But if you're not kissing my butt while taking my damn money, I'm not fooling with you. Like I said, now you want to treat me like a thief because you know that they don't want to take responsibility for the shipping and handling, which is perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, that's not my problem. Like, it's your job to send send out the deliveries, and then to return. Like if I do a return, that's supposed to be, this is me giving you your raggedy shit back. You know, cover the shipping and handling. But no, they get to the point now they want your money, and that's it. When it's time to pay for, they don't want to pay the carrier fees. They don't want to. You cover the fees while I give you terrible service, and while I treat you like a thief. It don't work like that. So basically, I'm gonna render onto me what is mine, and give Caesar his stuff back. So basically, I'm gonna give Satan back his stuff. And Satan and Amazon is the devil, and which is sad because like I love Amazon, and I would call myself doing business with them, but it's like they are into sorcery at the end of the day. So I'm thinking sometime later on down the line, if not already, that they're going to be into the whole that electric system, like chip system. Like we're not going to be taking the chip from your car, we're going to take the chip from you. Like pretty much, like they're going to conform soon. And like I'm saying, I'm glad they gave me the heads up before it was official. So what I'm doing now, I'm giving Caesar, I'm rendering unto Caesar what is his, or unto Babylon. Here you go, Babylon. You can have your store back. You can have your people back. You can have your products back. You can have your TV channels back. Whatever it is, anything that has sorcery on it or blood on it, I am rendering it back unto Caesar. So, yeah, as far as that, like that for me, that was mind blowing. Even though I felt like I see a lot of mind blowing things, I feel like my eyes are still this big in California, and even though there's still so much more to see and learn, I think the calmness or the contentment with the people who are literally in a predicament, in a pickle, and they were not at panic, and to me, that gave me another red flag. I'm thinking like, I know I would be acting a damn fool, and I'm thinking that in me, I'm a rational person. I feel like I like peace and I don't like chaos, but I felt like that was the time for chaos. People are literally stuck in a building. It was not an emergency, but hell, it might as well have been, because you gonna be stuck there whether it's an emergency or not, because like you have no business on this floor in a damn wheelchair in a raggedy ass building with no and I'm just like, oh my god. And the city didn't say that. This is the city's behind it. And I'm just like, y'all just don't understand the stuff I see here. And now I'm just like, wow. And then people are content too. Like they'll treat you like dirt, kick you in the head, and will continue on like nothing. And I'm just like, these are some sick people out here, I'm telling you. And I don't want to say I've seen it all, but I thought I've seen enough to know who is who and what is what. In LA, this is my biggest journey yet. Like I say, this is a journey. But I'm just like, wow, the contentment. Maybe that is the scariest part. The scariest part is people are content. They are very content with their demand. They know, people know they're not exactly foolish. Even if they're brainwashed or even if you're indoctrinated, you're not exactly foolish to the point to where you really don't believe what you see. And I'm thinking a lot of people are like, okay, I believe it, I just don't want to face the music, or maybe they're tired. Maybe they're okay with their demise. I'm okay with just having this peace and quiet, being able to sit down before the shit hits the fan. Because I can promise you, this is definitely the quiet before. It's way too. Anytime it's quiet in LA, even before I've been getting suspicious up until the times. Anytime it's quiet, it's like you'll go from being all the chaos and then it's quiet. I'm thinking like, no, it's a little too quiet, and then there's an explosion. But to me, I just feel like it's just too damn quiet, because it's like, I think right now it's quiet because they're setting up. Like I'm seeing a lot more Asians. I'm seeing these new owner, quote unquote, new owner Asians, and I'm just like, oh man. I guess the only thing I can do is buckle up and stay out the way, and then just keep my ears to the wall to see exactly what's happening and what to do next. You know? Yeah, so I guess that'll be something for me to work on and learn, and like, wow. Yeah, but the lack of humanity, I'm thinking that's going to make this journey a lot harder too. So just because the government has lost love for humanity and the people and other entities doesn't mean you have to. Like I say, there's nothing wrong with being a good person, but you have to help those who want to be helped. You know, you have to move accordingly, because we are living in a sick world. You know, and as bad as I want to save the world, you cannot save the world. Even if it's possible for me to save the whole world, like I have the ability to save the whole world, it's going to be impossible, because you got to consider those who do not want to be helped. They are okay with their demise. You know. So if I see something that's inhumane and it's like, okay, well, that's something you signed up for, then it's like I have to choose my battles wisely. Like I say, it takes a wear and tear on the mind and body and soul. So when I see things, I just have to take it as a learning experience. Like, okay, I learned that, okay, over here, these people are into sorcery. Over here, these people are trying. And over there, these people, they're already lost. So I have to see things for what it is and move accordingly. Because the compassion for humanity is flowing out the window. Like, that's why they can kill you. These motherfuckers don't give a million of you die, they're not gonna give a damn. Like, say it's getting to that point now where it's like everyone's desensitized. You can be dead in the street and people gonna continue on doing. They're not gonna give you a moment of silence. None of that. The world will go on. Yeah, so that's what's happening right now, and I can just say that just know that you don't want to be dependent at this time. You do not. If you don't have the means to get it, just you have to either find the alternative or do without until you can gain more independence. But the one thing I do not recommend, I don't recommend trying to work hard or try to, because here's the thing. I don't want to say, okay, yeah, work hard and get what it is that you want, or work hard to keep what you have. And I'm thinking like, no, because you're not working hard for the vacation home. You're not working hard to live in a mansion. You people are working hard to pay rent. You're working hard to make somebody else rich. Because the second you work hard, oh my God, bust my ass to make rent. You bust your ass to make rent and you don't have it next month, you and your furniture will be on the side of the road. You see what I'm saying? How you work hard and your landlord know you're working hard. But guess what? This is about money. I don't care about nothing but money. And if you don't have it, you can join everybody else on the side of the road. That's how that's working. And that's the attitude that they have. And for them to have that type of attitude, we still support them, still get it. Man, I'm not giving. Yeah. So I'm just like, but then again, though, you can't make anybody wake up and smell the roses. But I guess if I can help through this video, help you to understand that where it's like these people, they're not really helping you. And like I said, if you're not working hard to get yourself to be a homeowner of a mansion or to have a 40 acres and a mule, like you're literally not working, busting your ass to have something that's yours to where you ain't got to die to pay somebody else for it. Basically, if you're renting and you're struggling, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. Because if rent's just going to go up and you don't have the money, and then now you're stressed out and you're dead, it's not worth it anyway. Because you're overworking yourself to keep up with it. You're not going to be no good to nobody. And you can't enjoy the place if you're too burnt out. You're supposed to live in peace. And if it's not easy, then you're not in the right place. Yeah, so I think the alternative is to get as far away from the machine world as possible, because this point, this part of the journey is to suck the life and the money out of people and out of these cities. And then once the cities become the ghost town, then the new world's going to come in with those damn machines. And it's going to be everything. I'm just seeing everything growing up. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So, yeah, for those who's willing to hear and listen, those who there's hope for, I would recommend don't kill yourself and don't stress yourself to make somebody else rich. If apples are $20 an apple, don't kill yourself to make that damn apple. We might have to even pair up with local farms. It might be easier for people who are not in the big major cities or not, around the craziness that's being hit right now. But I'll say if you can help it, create a relationship with your local farm. Like, if there's some way where I can do business with you to get my groceries here, quote unquote. Maybe you can get produce and meats and like stuff like that from a farm. Maybe just depending on where you are. I would say try to find your local farm, or if you see a farmer's market, maybe see how they do their groceries and their trinkets. Because going into these stores, after a while, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it $20 an apple. And then if you can't pay the $20 an apple, is it worth the Target? You're the only one with apples and everybody's fighting over potatoes. And you just went in there and got an apple. You know what I mean? So it's like, do you want to be the Target? Do you want to be the only one who's eating around here, around a bunch of wolves? And that's another thing too, before I be quiet. Another thing too is like, the people who are hungry, they're not targeting the grocery, they're not targeting the hot spots enough. And I don't know if that's because they up their security, because now, like, a lot of these grocery stores, they're armed security now. Like, in banks, everything's getting up and armed now, where they have the guns out. And I don't know if that's why they're not getting attacked as much as the people. Because, like I say, for instance, if you have a bank or if you have a grocery store, or if you have something where it's sucking the money and the life out of people and you're doing great, and I happen to have a few dollars because I'm doing okay, like, okay, I may have an extra $20, so I'll probably go to the grocery store, and for some reason I will be the target. And I don't know if it's because it's easier target, or for some reason, or we're just more comfortable with robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I'm not saying recommended like, oh, just so you don't rob your neighbor, just go ahead and rob Walmart. But I'm thinking if you're one of those people who or have that mentality where you feel like, okay, I gotta get it how I get it, or I gotta rob Peter to pay Paul, then it's like, why don't you go directly to the source? You need money, why don't you go to where the money is? Not your neighbor's pocket. But stuff like that makes too much sense. And like I say, and when it comes to programming, they know exactly how to program people. And they know exactly how to prepare for you. That's what they're doing now, preparing for the people who are hungry. That's why they have armed security at the grocery store now. Yeah, so, I don't know, just take heed to that and just keep that in mind and just be mindful of your surroundings and, I don't know, just be well, be safe.